Let me guess, you probably clicked on this video because you're having a hard time getting ungated in brands that you want to sell on Amazon. And it's okay, I've been there. And the same exact thing goes with all the students that I've helped grow their businesses. They all dealt with this too. Now today, not only do I want to show you guys how I would go about submitting an application to Amazon to get approval to sell these brands, I also want to uncover why Amazon is making it hard to get ungated, especially to newer sellers that are coming on the platform. And if you're a newer seller, trust me, watch this and save this video for later. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Hisham. Everybody calls me Hish. I'm a 20-year-old full-time Amazon FBA seller. I've been able to drop out of school, get my own warehouse, and generate well over 6 figures a month in revenue. And I pretty much made this channel to give you guys all the information that I could have used when I first started Amazon FBA that would have allowed me to avoid a ton of mistakes. And if you guys are looking for more content just like this as far as helping you grow your business and giving you guys valuable tips, check out my Instagram at ecomhish, just like my YouTube channel. I post every single day as far as my day-to-day life and really valuable information that you guys could use to scale your business. But without further ado, let's get right to the main point. Ungating 101. What is ungating? If you're new and don't know what ungating is, it's essentially where you have to get approval from Amazon to sell a brand on the platform. I'll use Tide Pods as an example. I don't know why, but I always use that example. But besides the point, when it comes to selling on Amazon, let's say I wanted to get ungated in Tide, meaning I wanted to sell the brand Tide, I would have to get some sort of confirmation / invoice / receipt from a trusted online retailer or a trusted distributor / wholesaler to submit to Amazon to say, hey, I'm buying this legitimately from a trusted source and I'm not selling fake goods. Now that you know what ungating is, the big question is, Hish, how the heck do I get ungated? And I just want to say, if you're already at that stage where you're trying to get ungated, but you keep getting denied over and over and over again, it's totally normal. Like I said earlier, I've been there, and so have all of my other students that have came into my program. They've been there too. And I'll say this real loud and clear before I even dive into the information. If you're going to let ungating be the issue that's holding you back from starting and scaling this business, then this business might not be for you. Because while a ton of people want to sell you a dream about how incredibly insane Amazon is and the opportunity is there, don't get me wrong, yes, it is most definitely there. The opportunity is bigger than ever. But you also have to understand that great things come with big problems sometimes. And problems are not a bad thing. It just means you have to solve it, move on, and grow and become a better business owner. And the one question I'll get all the time, especially on my Instagram DMs, is people saying, Hish, I keep getting denied. I don't know how to ungate this brand. I'm submitting everything. Everything's seems great and everything's working. It's just, I'm not getting approval. Now, one thing you do have to understand is that over the last few years, especially, Amazon has become a little tighter on restrictions. And there's a couple reasons for that. New sellers coming on the platform every single day to sell on Amazon is a blessing to Amazon, but could also be a curse. And what I mean by that is, think about it. Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the entire world. Now, let's think here. What comes with a lot of attention and a lot of traction on a singular platform? Not only good money and good business, but also bad business as well. It's a part of the game, and it's definitely in a ton of industries. Now, with Amazon more specifically, it's selling fake goods and pretty much selling even stolen goods. Those two things are what some sellers are coming on this platform and doing. And because of that, Amazon has to be very, very careful of who they allow to sell with certain brands, because the last thing Amazon wants is a customer receiving a bad product, and that bad product could be a fake item within that brand, and now Amazon is looked at as a bad company. And obviously, Amazon does not want that depiction on them at all. So the way they kind of hold that back is by being very careful with who they allow to sell, especially in the beginning. So my biggest point here is that Amazon, for all they know, you could just be coming on here selling fake goods, stolen goods, and at that point, they can't really trust you, especially in the beginning phase, which is totally okay. And the reason why I say that is because as an experienced seller myself, as well as coaching and mentoring tons of guys and helping them kill it in this business, one thing I've really noticed within my business and my students' businesses that have been absolutely killing it is the simple fact that as our accounts begin to get more seasoned, we begin to sell more inventory, we're getting more reviews, more ratings on our account from customers, with the acknowledgement of knowing that these reviews are good, of course, and just simply spending more time on the platform, Amazon's going to begin to catch on and see that, hey, this guy's actually selling and fulfilling our customer base. They're making sales. They're getting good feedback on their account. Their reviews and their ratings are healthy. Their account health is healthy. Let's be more lenient and allow them to sell more. Because you have to understand, the only way Amazon grows is essentially if we grow. So you have to think about it like this. Amazon does not want to restrict you the way you think they want to restrict you. Because if you think about it again, Amazon is only going to gain and obviously grow if we grow as third-party sellers, because obviously they're making a cut off of every sale that we make. Now you're probably wondering, okay, cool, Hish, well, how do I gain Amazon's trust, and how can I actually implicate this into my business so that I can get to that point where Amazon is cool with me and they're more lenient and I can actually run and grow this business? And it's a very simple answer. You need to sell more. A massive mentor that I watch on a daily basis always says this: more, better, new. Now, to implicate that into Amazon, what you need to do more is more of the selling process. Now, how you would go about this is there are tons of brands out there that you can actually get auto ungated in and begin to sell just like that. And auto ungated means essentially Amazon is automatically approving you to sell these brands instantly. Now, believe it or not, there are a ton of brands out there that you can get auto ungated in and and begin to sell instantly. And the way that works is once you find that brand and that product that you can get auto ungated by, start selling it, start ripping it on Amazon. Because like I said earlier, as you gain more traffic, as you gain more experience, and as you begin to get more sales, eventually you're going to get good ratings and good reviews from the customer base, which will allow you to show to Amazon, hey, I'm actually fulfilling my products and the customers are a testimony of that. And as you begin to incrementally grow that rapport with Amazon, Amazon's going to be cool and they're going to be a lot more lenient with you as far as ungating and restrictions. So with all this knowledge right here, here's how you actually put that into actionable steps. Number one, find brands that you can actually buy, whether it's RA or OA. And after you sell these brands that you can actually find profitably, whether it's RA or OA, RA meaning retail arbitrage and OA meaning online arbitrage, submit documents to all these brands. And then once you get ungated in a few of them, begin to sell the ones that you get ungated in. And you'll notice as you begin to make sales and obviously grow your company, Amazon will be a lot more lenient and you'll even begin to see that ungating is going to be not as much of an issue as you begin to grow. Now, just make sure when you are getting ungated, a few tips are to obviously highlight all the important information. With all my documents in the past, I've always highlighted, for example, my name, my billing address, my shipping address, the quantity that I've ordered, as well as the retailer slash distributor or wholesaler that you're buying from to show Amazon, hey, the retailer, the distributor, the wholesaler, whoever you're buying from is authorized, they're vetted, they're legit. And then obviously highlighting your name and your billing information and your shipping address that correlates with your Amazon information. So obviously make sure the shipping address aligns with your actual Amazon address that you have on your Seller Central account. And then of course, highlight the product and the actual name and the description of the product in that invoice that aligns with the ASIN that you're using to get ungated with. And the quick main idea here when it comes to ungating is don't overcomplicate it. Use an online receipt slash confirmation from the online retailer that you're buying from to use as a submission. And that's if you're doing online arbitrage, of course, which I'm assuming most of us are. And one thing I get asked a lot as well is, Hish, I'm doing RA, can I use my printed receipt? Now, I will say that used to work back in the days when Hish first started Amazon and I was a young buck out of high school selling. Amazon was very lenient back then. But times changed, you can't do that anymore. So what I would do instead in this case is, yes, if you find something profitably in store, you should still buy it then and there. And when you come back home, buy it from an online authorized retailer. And a really good online retailer that I use is Target.com because they actually give you invoices. But essentially what you want to do here is you want to actually buy that product online, even if you're not buying it profitably. And most likely if you're doing RA, the product that you're buying RA online is not going to be profitable 9 times out of 10. And that's because RA, typically you're buying products that are really on clearance aisles or just discounted super cheap compared to the online retail price. But the main point behind buying it online is because you're going to use the online receipt slash invoice to submit to Amazon for the ungate. And then of course, once you get the ungate, just return it back to the retailer and you can use the RA products that you bought at the RA store, wherever you bought it from, to actually sell. So a little hack that I used a lot when I was first doing retail arbitrage is to always buy my products that I'm going to ungate with online, and then I'll use that for the submission, and of course I'll return it back to the online retailer, and then from there I'll just sell what I actually bought from RA because obviously that was the profitable product that I found. So for ungating retail arbitrage products that you find, just buy online, use that as a submission, and then once it becomes ungated, you can just return that back from the online retailer, and then of course, like I just said, sell what you bought doing retail arbitrage. And the one thing I do also want to talk about when it comes to getting ungated is being persistent. You see, most times, especially as a newer Amazon seller, you're probably not going to get ungated on the first try a lot of times. And that is totally okay because like I said earlier, Amazon doesn't know who you are. For all they know, you could be just a fake seller. And of course, my hope is at least you're not a fake seller, because if you are a fake seller, then yeah, this video might not be for you. But all jokes aside though, when it comes to actually submitting as a newer seller, understand that you're going to be persistent at this, and you have to be persistent at this because with Amazon, you pretty much have to bother them constantly resubmitting invoices, constantly spamming them with documents, because eventually after so many submissions, they're going to have to ungate you, especially when you're selling products already in the back end and they're seeing that, hey, this person is a legitimate seller. Eventually you'll get ungated because I've been there. I've been at the point to where I was 20 submissions deep. But after I realized that, hey, I just need to sell more to get this ungate, what I did and what you need to do as an Amazon seller as well is to focus on what you can control. So what you can control are brands that you can get ungated in, because as a beginner, of course, you're going to be limited, and that's okay. Work with what you have, work with the brands that you can find and get ungated in very easily, because there are tons of brands out there that are very easily to get ungated in. And once you get ungated in those brands, double down on that and go as hard as you possibly can. Do that with a few brands, watch some of my sourcing videos, and of course, as you begin to make sales, Amazon will be a lot more lenient with you, and the whole ungating process, like I said earlier, will be a lot easier. For example, one of my students, Richard, who did $17,000 in his second month doing online arbitrage, he was having a lot of issues getting ungated. And after I told him this entire strategy of, hey, Richard, do what you can control what you can control, he began to do some retail arbitrage with some grocery products, because grocery is a pretty good category to get ungated in when it comes to success rates. So Richard began to do a lot of retail arbitrage, and after making sales, he then fully dove into online arbitrage. arbitrage. And because he had that prior experience from retail arbitrage, when he transitioned to online arbitrage full time, his second month did $17,000 all via online arbitrage. And that's pretty crazy because from not getting ungated at all to now doing $17K in your second month from brands that you were literally not able to get ungated in after 20 submissions, that in itself was a ton of proof of concept along with my business and my experiences. So to put everything into conclusion, you have to understand as a newer seller that it's going to take time. And of course, you need to control what you can control. Find and sell brands that you can get easily ungated in. Double down in those brands / categories, for example, grocery, or if you have a local TJ Maxx or local Marshalls, there are tons of different categories as far as skincare, groceries, vitamins, and even more stuff that you can easily get auto ungated in. As you begin to sell these brands, Amazon is obviously going to see that, hey, you're legit, you're making sales, you're not a fake seller, and that's where the leniency begins to take place. Use this video as a roadmap as far as doing retail arbitrage if you have to in the beginning to get the ungate, or even if you're doing online arbitrage from some of my past recordings as far as, my OA sourcing videos. When you find something profitable, get ungated in it. Do that with a ton of different brands so that you have a high success chance of getting these ungates. And once a couple brands actually land and you get the ungate, double down, source as much as possible, make sales. And of course, being a patient business owner is very key in this. As you're making sales patiently, you're going to realize Amazon is going to be a lot more friendly with you and a lot more lenient. Do this for a long period of time, and I promise you, you're going to win. You just have to figure it out, and you just have to stay persistent and consistent every single day in your business and sell as much as possible, because more, better, new, and in this case, we have to do more. And if you guys got a lot of value out of this video and a lot of information as far as selling on Amazon and getting ungated, and if you're interested in how you can scale your business to 5 and even 6 figures a month in revenue, I do have a one-on-one mentorship program where I've helped tons of guys come in this and absolutely crush it. I'll pop up some testimonies right here so you guys can see that real quick. But if you guys are interested in how you can work directly with myself on one-on-one calls, my direct number, hopping on live, sourcing calls, seeing exactly how I find my products and how I scale my business to a 6-figure a month operation doing online arbitrage, I do have a calendar link below where you could book a one-on-one call. On that call, we're pretty much going to see obviously where you're at in your business, if you're new, if you're seasoned, and if we feel like we can truly help you scale this thing. And of course, if you like everything that you see, we'll go ahead and bring you in this and help you start scaling this thing to the moon. But with all that being said, I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this video. And if you did get some value, feel free to drop a subscribe below so that you guys can get more informational content just like this that can help you grow your business. Turn those notifications on as well so that every time I do drop a video, you are notified right away. And of course, check out my Instagram. I post content every single day on my stories as well, going over my day-to-day, what I'm doing, how I'm scaling, and just so you guys can see firsthand how I'm growing my business. Take all the information from this video, put it into action, and watch what happens. I will see you guys in the next one. Let's get rich.